'Cause your opinion don't matter. This maniac is gonna step on whomever.
Welcome, everybody, to The Rope Break. I am your host, the beast from the Northeast, Jeff Wolf. I'm alongside my partner in crime, Eric.
When are you going to drop that nickname? That sucks.
No, actually, I love the nickname. I'm going to keep that nickname. That is an actual cool nickname. Now we just need to get you a nickname that fits.
Yeah, I don't need one.
Like the Chosen One or something.
Let's take it.
Are you tired?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, we just started this and you're already tired.
Mm-hmm.
You should be like me where I didn't have to work today.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this was actually a pretty big week for wrestling. Well, we think it is. The big thing coming out this week was the news of Destination America signing Ring of Honor to a show where they've had a show on TV before. It's actually still running now, but a lot of people probably don't even know about it. You included, right?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. So at least I know in the Columbus area it was on Fox 8. It was on at weird hours of the day, but it was a show. It was on TV, but it's cool that it's going to be on Destination America now. So that's going to be the main thing we're going to talk about. We're also going to get into other things like the Chambers coming up this weekend, so we're going to talk about that. I want to talk briefly about your thoughts on Samoa Joe's contract, because as we personally know, his contract is different than any other contract we've seen for someone coming into the company. And also things like AJ Styles to WWE based off of Joe and his new contract. And something that also got a little bit of buzz this week was the thing between Stardust and Stephen Amell on Monday Night Raw. So we're going to get into that. But first, let's talk about Destination America. It's kind of crazy to me that they would have Impact and ROH on at the same time, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one's on a Thursday, one's on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
right?
I get that, but it's just weird that they'd have both these shows, especially like the timeline to leading up to this is that Impact was.
Well, I think they wanted to get Ring of Honor now and get them going, and TNA is just going to be dropped soon, anyways.
That's what I'm saying. Like they signed them to, I think it was like a 2-year contract. They've been on for roughly about a year, right? I'm thinking. Not maybe.
So, like, they're probably letting them finish out their contract and then telling them to get lost.
Well, apparently there's a claim in the contract where they can X out of this after the first year, which I think that's what me personally, that's what I would think they're doing. And apparently executives aren't a fan of what's going on with Impact. I actually today caught up on the last show, and I guess 2 weeks ago randomly they put on like Slammiversary from two years ago or a year ago or something. Because it was the one where the Dudleys got inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, which that's such a prestigious Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's none of them have been lifers. They're all just like veterans that ended up coming to TNA.
I know.
It makes no sense. Like Jeff Jarrett's not even in it. Mm-hmm. AJ Styles isn't even in it. People that have been in TNA since the beginning. Yeah. And no, let's put Kurt Angle in and the Dudleys and Sting.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So I caught up on it, and it's a horrible show. It really is. Like, as much as you want to sugarcoat it and be like it's different, my thing with Impact is it doesn't even feel like I'm watching a wrestling show. It feels like there's way too many things that are like production stage kind of stuff, where it's kind of like you're watching a TV show or like maybe like a best of show, a part of it. Especially now with like they had like Al Snow and like Josh Matthews. Like just in the backstage area with like computer monitors, kind of like going over the show. So obviously they weren't even at the show live. So it's just really weird. I mean, Impact's not good. It's not.
Well, yeah, and then they tape like 3 months worth of shows in 3 days.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, so it's I mean it's like if you can stay offline, I guess it's probably decent that you don't know what's happening. But if you read a report, you're going to know like a quarter of a year right there.
Yeah. Well, I heard like they're like recording 3 weeks of shows that are for after Slammiversary, and then after those 3 days, they're doing the actual Slammiversary pay-per-view. So they're actually recording shows that are supposed to be after the pay-per-view, but they're actually going to be done before the pay-per-view. If that makes sense.
It doesn't, and that's TNA. Nothing makes sense. They haven't made sense for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like they were like I honestly would have been fine if they didn't find another home after Spike.
They gotta be done because I mean
Dixie is going to go down in history as one of the dumbest pieces of crap that's ever been in this industry.
Yeah, well, and this is my other thing is if they're done, what, and especially with this new contract that WWE is doing, like what TNA stars would even want to come over? What ones would they even want?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing: is I don't think they'd even bring over many people. Like you got to look at the people.
No, I think like maybe 3 at the most.
I'm thinking you get Rude, you get Austin.
I would love Austin Aries, but I don't know if they would get him. They might though, since they've been getting the smaller guys lately.
I think they'd give him a try. And you know what? The wild card to me is I think they'd actually give EC3 another chance too.
Yeah, I could see that. I think James Storm would be another good one.
You know, I don't think they would. You know what? And I love James Storm, but watching the kind of crap he does on this show now, I wouldn't give him a chance.
How about your boy Eric Young?
Oh, it's funny to see Eric Young. Eric Young is actually, and this is, I like this, but I also hate this. Eric Young is actually legit, kind of, in the company now. Like, they finally realize he doesn't have to be a joke, and you can actually do something with him, and he's actually proven he can be something.
Yeah.
But it's like, why did it take you this long to do that?
And then the other big one that I was thinking of is with, well, actually was kind of a topic that I wanted to bring up too, with would they bring back Jeff Hardy?
Yes.
Would they start him in NXT? Because NXT, as you know now, they're bringing in like these old school guys that were like, they like tell them, oh, well, you're not good enough to be on our main roster, but you could be down in NXT.
I don't think so. I think someone like Jeff Hardy, because they've shown that they do actually have interest in maybe the Hardys having one more run. And I think both of the Hardys actually were interested in it, but I think actually, surprisingly, it would be Matt that would be the one that would nix the whole thing. Because I really think Matt actually enjoys the indie bookings and the styles and of
he's not in Ring of Honor anymore, is he?
I don't think so. No.
God, I would not watch the goddamn Ring of Honor if he was on it then.
Speaking of Ring of Honor, though, what do you? Because as always we're getting a little off key, but what do you think is going to be the biggest impact of Ring of Honor getting onto an actual network? And do you think Destination America, if they keep them on, do you think it's just going to become like that like wrestling network?
I think what's going to happen with them is because TNA was there first, so people that watch TNA, you know, like the 6 people in America, you know, EC3 parents and stuff watched it, and that was about it. You know, people are going to see the commercials for Ring of Honor, and they're like, oh, this is something new. And I think more people that maybe didn't know about Ring of Honor or not, you know, just a casual fan, it might churn in. And I think, like me and you were talking about, it's like pretty much like half of AIW's roster, and we know all those guys can wrestle. And if you look at how, you know, the fans like wrestling, you know, they mark out pretty much for good wrestling. You know, you watch NXT, they're chanting their heads off because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and all these guys are going balls out and putting on a great match. You know, the Ring of Honor guys can do the same thing. And a lot of those guys, you know, I was looking at their roster, I've never personally seen before. Like Roderick Strong and I'm sure there was a couple others.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a bunch of guys.
There's like I don't think I've ever seen the Briscoes wrestle.
Oh, they're amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen the Young Bucks wrestle either.
Well, did you see them in TNA when they were in there?
Maybe, but I doubt it.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I mean even more so, they've gotten better. And I mean there's some really good talent in Ring of Honor, even though I always say it's it's a shadow of what it used to be, and that's true. It honestly is. I mean, you can ask a lot of Ring of Honor fans; they're going to tell you the same thing. You can ask former wrestlers that have been there; they're going to say the same thing. If you actually watch Kevin Steen's shoot interview with like RF Video, he says the same thing. So it's not like I'm just being a douche. It's actually true. But I think it's going to be, like you said, that's the big thing. Is it's going to be great to see or to have people actually that didn't know about Ring of Honor know now about Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and I'm excited for guys that haven't been on TV before, or not on the mainstream TV like Raymond Rowe and stuff. Those guys are going to get showcased now. If somebody takes this first week's episode and puts in the DVD player for Vince, hey Vince, watch this show, okay, and he sees Raymond Rowe, he might have an orgasm right there in the chair.
Oh, he really might. Now, my big thing that I'm excited about to see is, like, I would tape Ring of Honor when I was in Columbus. So I would watch the show weekly by weekly, and the show was all over the place, and the production value wasn't good either. It was really gritty and really unorganized. So I'm really interested to see the steps they take forward of being on an actual network. Not that Destination America is USA Network or anything like that we know of WWE.
And then
but
I want you to make one more prediction before we move on.
Okay.
Will Ring of Honor's first episode on Destination America have a higher rating than any TNA show has had on Destination America?
Yes.
I think so, too.
I think so. So now this will be the very last bullet point before we move on. The only advantage I would see of TNA staying on with Destination America is that we might actually get crossover kind of stuff, or because they're on the same network, there's able to do contracts maybe where you could see ROH versus TNA. That would be the only thing I could see if you have like a yearly kind of ROH versus TNA. But yeah. So we'll move on, but it is exciting, awesome, and congratulations to everyone involved in Ring of Honor. It really was a really awesome and like groundbreaking news kind of day for pro wrestling, even though it may not seem so big.
Yeah, and they have a really, really talented roster. So
they really do.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing a lot of these guys. Like I said, I haven't seen some of them before.
Mm-hmm.
So
all right, so going from Ring of Honor to someone that used to be in Ring of Honor. We'll talk about Samoa Joe's contract. Joe, it was kind of reported after Joe debuted at NXT that Joe was given a contract that was unlike no other. And I myself, including others, were very skeptical, like, we'll see just how different of a contract it is. It was announced today for a local indie company in the area, in Cleveland, Ohio, that Samoa Joe is going to be added to their next show, which is their big show of the year.
Which is in July,
yes.
So you still have another month and a half.
Yes. And the thing is if this was a kind of thing like was any other kind of deal, you could see WWE letting them finish out a week or two of their contract. But seeing that Joe was scheduled for this company show, like what was it, last weekend that we went to it?
Yeah.
Seeing that he was scheduled for the show, and that's like I can understand that, finishing up that. But then that the news comes around today that he's getting scheduled for a whole nother show in a month, or like you said, a month and a half. That's different. That's completely different. That is showing that he really does have a different kind of contract where he is going to be allowed to work indie shows. And for professional wrestlers on the independent scene that are in talks with WWE, this is truly groundbreaking for a contract, and this is a huge deal.
Yeah, and I think it makes it more for people that, like I know Johnny Gargano's talked about it before, another famous indie wrestler, like he loves the indie wrestling. He loves all of that. And, I think he almost signed with WWE, or whether there was talks of it, he did like that promo that one time.
Yeah, it seems like he's been in talks a couple times, but just nothing pairs up.
Yeah, so maybe this is more attractive for him that he could do both while getting his foot in the door at WWE. And obviously he knows Seth Rollins. He knows, Samoa Joe now. He knows, I'm sure there's tons of other guys I'm not even thinking of. Luke Harper, a couple others.
Oh, yeah.
Guys like that. Maybe it's more attractive for them, these top indie guys, to come into NXT now while they can still work their, regular indie dates.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because there's guys that don't really, they hear all the bad stuff about WWE, and they see the bad stuff about how hard it is and how little of effort WWE really will give younger guys to get them to that spotlight. It's not like it used to be. But a lot of people want to be a part of NXT because this really is the new it thing. I mean, it's the cool kids right now is NXT. So a lot of people, and Johnny could be one of them, who actually still wants to work with some of those guys that he fought on the indie scene. He still could do it, but at the same time, get on the WWE network. Get your face shown. It doesn't mean that he wants to necessarily be in the WWE main roster. I mean, a lot of people still do. A lot of people don't give a crap about what they hear. They just know that WWE is the almighty WWE, and they want to get there whatever.
Yeah, it's the ultimate step that you can take, and obviously, if you're a wrestler, the biggest show you could ever work is WrestleMania for wrestling. That is the Daytona 500, that's the Super Bowl, the whatever, that's the biggest thing for wrestling. So obviously all them guys want to be on that show and work their way to that at some point in their career.
And here I thought it was Bound for Glory.
And, well, the other question I want to ask to you about this is, now that Joe has this contract, do you think others like Sami Zayn and Itami and Finn Balor are going to want the same thing, even though they probably don't have that contract? Do you think WWE would allow them to renegotiate so they can have that type of contract?
No. Would they want that contract? Hell yes. Hell yes, would they want that contract? They would absolutely.
Well, but my thing is why can Joe get it but Sami Zayn can't?
Because Joe was the fish they were after.
Well, I understand that, but if I'm Sami Zayn,
Sami Zayn he has nothing to go off of. Like, he has no pull whatsoever.
No, but he can be like, look, you guys gave Joe that, why can't I have that?
Yeah, well, he can say whatever the heck he wants, but he's not going to get it. I could see them doing it with Owens.
Well, Owens just signed the WWE deal, so he ain't doing it.
He ain't doing it. To me, he'd be the only one that would have that power, that star power to do it. I think it's a contract.
What I think they want to do is make a WWE contract like Owens just got, and an NXT contract, and I think the NXT contract would allow you to do both.
But I don't think they're going to do it for everyone. I don't think they're going to take that chance. And we don't know the actual ground rules of this contract. I'm sure this contract is as it is. You can bend, it won't break. There is certain limits that we just don't know about this contract. And
yeah, I'm sure there's only like, hey, you can only work once or twice a month or something like that in an indie shows or something.
Yeah. And the next thing we were going to talk about, I would say that person is the only other person on the scene right now that would be given this contract. And that would be AJ Styles. I feel AJ is the only other person that would be able, right now at least, to get this contract. I don't think they'd even offer it to the Bucks, even though I know that they wanted Bucks, and the Bucks are saying there's no reason for us to come over. They're loving life, what they're doing. And I think AJ is too. I don't think AJ is that close to a contract.
If they want it, but see, that's the thing though, is I haven't heard anything, maybe you have, that WWE wants AJ. Have you?
No, yeah, I have. Yeah, actually, a report came out this week. That's why we're going to talk about it. Is that they are showing more interest in getting AJ, at least in NXT, and especially because they got Joe. And I think AJ would would humor them a little bit right now because they got Joe, and especially if they give him the contract that Joe gets, where AJ is. I don't know if AJ could still be the IWGP champion. But I think there's maybe a possibility of it. I think right now AJ would be. This is the closest I think they're going to get to getting AJ if they work out this kind of a deal.
And then the thing too, I want to say also is if you work in TNA or Ring of Honor now that they have an actual TV deal, they're not going to sign them. I don't think they're going to allow those guys to appear on an actual TV show.
No,
they might let them appear on, those iPay-per-views or the DVDs that these little indie companies put out. That might be okay, but
see, it's going to be interesting because I'm pretty sure Joe is signed for a taping for ROH, but this news came before ROH signed with Destination America.
Yeah.
So it
yeah,
seemed
so
like
that'll be really interesting.
it'll be extremely interesting. I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, that's why this week is actually kind of cool. It actually made me excited of the what ifs. It's not just a boring, oh, we got this pay-per-view coming up, let's just keep going through the motions. No, there's actually kind of cool information. I'm interested to see that, and I am interested to see exactly what's going to happen with this Destination America thing with TNA and ROH. I mean, there's
and we're gonna watch Ring of Honor this week, and we'll probably review the show even too.
Yeah,
so
we'll get to review it now.
We'll do Chamber and Ring of Honor. We're not gonna do TNA. If you came here to listen to TNA stuff, sorry.
No, I mean I mention TNA every once in a while, but honestly, it's not worth our time. I mean, and I'm sorry if we're gonna lose one of the 6 viewers right now.
Yeah, I'd rather review one of those old EWR diaries with Sting's corpse versus.
Oh gosh.
Remember that?
No, I'd rather go out and buy a Totino's bold cheddar blasted crust and tell you how they work. Tummy.
Yeah, with Sheamus on the cover of it.
Yeah. Oh man. Sheamus, you're gonna get me into a Ninja Turtles too thing. We don't even want to go there.
And we're gonna have a little kid in the background yelling "Go Browns."
Oh, I love it. Okay, so on to the AJ thing. I talked about it briefly. Do you have anything else to add about AJ maybe going to WWE? Like your opinions on it?
I'm a big AJ fan. I would love to see it.
Do you think he would just go to NXT though, or do you think it would be a kind of thing where they would kind of work him into WWE?
I think he would do the same thing Joe's doing.
Okay.
So for me, it seems like Sting or AJ is like the Sting. He would be the guy that wouldn't go over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how Sting did with WCW and however long. AJ seems like he would be that loyal guy because, I mean, I remember him having trash talk with Punk and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years ago, or probably 5-6 years ago, about them guys. So, I mean, obviously Punk's gone now, but speaking of that, do you think now that they have Joe announced and it's a month and a half away, do you think they could convince CM Punk to come to Cleveland?
Gosh, they're doing whatever they can, aren't they?
Maybe that's what they're doing.
You just talking about it, it makes me believe that they're. I think it's internet fans like us that are just like reading way too much into it. But to me, they're pulling on all the strings that they can.
Yeah, and I commend them for it, and I'm very happy for it.
I commend them for it for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting those tickets.
If at some point if we go down to next year's WrestleMania now, and I don't remember, I don't even know, has there even been a date announced for Punk's first fight?
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't even know the dates because this is just something that we're just thinking off the top of our head. But if we get down to WrestleMania and we still have Joe there and we see maybe some other guys with these contracts or something, and there's always the what if. I mean, at that time, a lot of emotions can settle, checks can be cleared, conversations could be had. You never know. Punk might be back by WrestleMania. If so, he's going to look like the biggest hypocrite in the world, though.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back in WWE, but I think he would come back for one more match, and especially against Samoa Joe, he hasn't wrestled in probably 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. If he's going to have one more match, I think he would really, really love it for it to be against Joe. Yeah,
I wouldn't see why not. I mean, those two would tear the fucking house down like they always have.
Yeah, and it would. The buy rate for that. Well, I guess there's no buy rates anymore. But the viewing watch, I guess that they can gauge for the network for that show, I think would be really good. It'd be crazy good.
Could you imagine at AIW a CM Punk meet and greet? Holy shit!
Oh my gosh, they'd maybe get 10 people.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Okay, so we were at the AIW show, and we love AIW. We support AIW. We will always support AIW. I thought it was absolutely absurd. Me and Eric were there. We're watching the show, and then at intermission they have a Joe signing. We had 2 of our other friends come with us. That was I would say at least
there was
50% of the group that was there to see him.
Yep.
Like, there was like 6 to 8 people, I felt.
But they also said that he did a signing and meet and greet for like a long time before the show, so I think a lot of people did that beforehand.
Okay.
That would be my guess because we weren't there.
That's true.
But
I would
and
hope
plus,
so.
we thought Joe hurt his wrist. I mean, he definitely hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
I don't know if he dislocated
it.
it. I obviously didn't break it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah. I think if it was broken, there would have been a report somewhere. But it did look like he dislocated something, or just I don't know, he just needed to push something back a little bit because you just saw him put like a towel over his arm and then over one of the ropes and just jerked it. So I don't know. But yeah, I was surprised to see how little people were actually looking to get his contract, and I was actually taken back. I thought the show with Joe appearing would have gained more attention and more attendance than it actually did.
Yeah, I think so. It was still a good match. Him and Gargano put on a very good match.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, people could say it was a slow style match, but that's kind of the beauty of pro wrestling. Not everything has to be hard hitting and 20 false finishes. There's still an art to getting up stage by stage into a pro wrestling match and making it exciting and getting people along that ride with you like a roller coaster. So I thought they had a really great match.
Yep.
All right, so last thing we're going to talk about before we go into the Chamber predictions is going to be something that I think is really cool. You might not think is as cool as I do, but on Raw this week, Stardust came out and Stephen Amell, who plays Arrow on the CW show Arrow, was in the crowd, and Stardust goes up to him, and they have kind of like a stare down. And some people could be like, oh, maybe it's nothing. But there's getting reports now that the WWE truly is interested in doing something like this. Now, Amell is a huge WWE fan. He's been a wrestling fan his whole life. So to me, that's really cool, first of all. Second of all, I love the show. He's awesome. He's going to be...
Third of all, it's on CW. Do you watch 90210 afterwards, too?
Not on.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
It's not on anymore, asshole, or I would. So I'm excited about that. He's going to be Casey Jones in the new Ninja Turtles movie, which is
bullshit. That should be CM Punk.
It's basically the only reason to go see that movie is because he's going to be in it.
And Sheamus is in it.
Yeah, that's not a reason to go see it.
For you, it is.
No, oh my gosh, that pissed me off so much. Of all the people they could have gotten, they get frickin' Sheamus to be in that movie. But yeah, so it looks like they might be doing a feud with that. How do you feel about this? I know celebrity crossovers usually doesn't go that well, and I know
if it gets Cody Rhodes on TV more, awesome.
Yeah.
But my thinking is, if you're going to do a feud with, a celebrity, you're going to bring him in and let him feud with somebody. You'd want to have it do it with somebody bigger, right?
Yeah, but here's
pretty much they have delegated Stardust / Cody Rhodes down to Damian Sandow level.
I don't think so. I don't see it that way. First of all, Stephen Amell he may not be a household name yet, but the Arrow show is hugely popular.
Well, I'm giving him credit saying he should fight somebody with a bigger name than Cody Rhodes.
Oh, you're saying him. I thought you were saying...
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't you want him to fight, a bigger name, like Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah.
I mean, just saying it off the top of my head.
I see what you're saying now. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, to me personally, I love Stardust, and I love Stephen Amell, so to me that's an awesome setup. But I see what you're saying, where if you're going to bring a celebrity in, and what I'm thinking with this is that this is kind of going into the new Ninja Turtles movie because they do have Sheamus. I think there's going to be ties, and I think there's going to be promotion and everything like that for the movie, like they like to do. So I think that's going to tie in. But yeah, actually that fight would have been better.
Oh my God, I can see
Sheamus.
it. I can see it now. Oh, they're going to actually have the Ninja Turtles guest host Raw looking like morons.
Mm-hmm.
I can already see it in my head. I'd rather have Betty White and Bob Barker tag team against somebody.
Oh gosh, it's not going to be that bad. But I could definitely see that. But yeah, I feel Sheamus probably would have been a better person. I mean, even just being that he's announced for the movie, and we've already seen footage or pictures of him in the movie. So it is a little weird that they're choosing Stardust, but again, I love that it's Stardust, so we'll see where it goes. But I don't know, it was just kind of cool, kind of exciting. It got a little bit of attention. So, all right. So the last thing we want to talk about is, and I actually have more fun talking about these topics than I do predictions, which is why I kind of wanted to delay predictions until now, I feel. But we're going to get into the Elimination Chamber predictions.
All right, my favorite part of the show, predictions.
I feel it's so boring sometimes when we talk about predictions or talk about recaps for shows, especially when it's like nothing really exciting happens and it's just a normal kind of show. But I digress. So the Chamber's happening. It actually doesn't look bad. I'm actually really excited for the tag match, actually.
Yeah, me too.
So
I'm excited for both matches. I think both will be good.
We'll talk about the tag match first. So the tag match for the first time ever, it's going to be an Elimination Chamber tag match, it's just, I love when they do different kinds of things like this. It's not the same crap over and over again. And then they've been pushing the tag teams. They even did they end Raw with the tag teams, or was it the second to last segment? I don't know. Either way, it was
second to last because they had.
Oh yeah, 'cause they did the whole thing with like Dean coming back and then Roman was there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's going to be 2 of the 3 members of New Day. We don't know exactly which 2 it'll be.
Probably Kofi and Big E. They don't really let Xavier wrestle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, they let him hold the gold this week, but he doesn't really wrestle that much. So I'd go with those 2. You're going to have Cesaro and Kid. You're going to have your boys, what are they?
Ascension?
No, the Titus and Darren Young. Oi, oi, oi. He acts like a freaking seal.
Oh, God.
We're going to have Lucha, which that'll be fun. The Ascension, which, gosh, is there a more boring team now than the Ascension? I don't think so.
They screwed them
they're dead.
up. That's WWE writing.
You might as well rebook them as the DOA because they are dead on arrival.
Yeah, that's like classic Vince Russo right there.
And then you got the I don't know, Fernando and Frito or whatever.
Los Matadors.
Yeah, Los Matadors, which they're good wrestlers. It's just their gimmick.
It's a child gimmick.
Yeah, it's a child. Well, I don't even know children that like it. Like the.
They like the bull. They like the little bull. That's it.
Yeah, they like the bull. But like even like my buddy's kids, like they like the Lucha guys. They love them. Like, he's a big Sin Cara. One of his kids is a big Sin Cara fan. They even like Tyson Kidd. So, but they hate no one cares about him. But anyways, so that'll be. It should be a good match. Actually, it should be a really good match, I feel. I mean, in a chamber, you have a couple big guys and I'd say 2/3 small guys. So there should be some good spots in that match. I don't know. Who do you see walking out with the titles?
Man, that's a tough call. Something just tells me that the New Day is gonna keep it.
Yeah.
But if I had to actually choose, I would give it to the Lucha Dragons.
Really?
Yeah.
As you're saying that, I'm pointing on my screen to who I think you're going to pick, and I did not pick.
Oh, of course I want Cesaro and Kid,
okay.
But I don't. The WWE isn't going to do that. I think Lucha Dragons would be somebody that they would put the strap on.
I mean, here's my take. If New Day keeps it, I'm okay with it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, I think New Day's going to keep it though. That'll be my official prediction.
Okay. If they go with Lucha, I'm excited. I love Kalisto, and actually, I love Sin Cara like this too. The new Sin Cara. I liked him in NXT, and I like him still now. I think if they put the original Sin Cara in this from the beginning, then he would still be here today. And I obviously would love if it was Cesaro and Kid as well. So if one of those 3 teams wins it, great. If the other 3 teams wins it, I'm already going to be pissed off about the show, especially if that's the opening match. I don't know if it is, but if that's the case, I will be pissed. All right, so the Intercontinental Championship Elimination Chamber match. It's showing Rusev, but I just saw reports of Rusev actually getting injured to our boy Ryback.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go in there. I think they're going to have to get somebody else in there.
It would be cool if they brought up an NXT person to do this. If Sami Zayn was not injured, I think this would be perfect.
Well, you know who I don't know what happened to him, but what happened to The Miz? Where's he been?
He's going to be on the show.
Well, I know he's doing the Daniel Bryan thing.
Wasn't he doing stuff for a movie?
I thought he already did it.
I think he was doing something for a movie. Maybe it was promotion, or maybe it was I don't know. But he was gone for like a month.
Yeah.
I mean, but there was a whole reason by it. Like they wrote him off the show.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind maybe seeing Miz go in there as his replacement.
No, I wouldn't mind that at all. I still will never understand this fascination, this refascination with R-Truth.
Yeah, I don't know why. See, I think what they should have did is take out Truth and then Rusev, and since they're having Neville versus Bo Dallas now, they should have put both of them in there.
Yeah, I was just thinking before you said that, Neville would have been a great replacement too.
Oh, yeah, he would be awesome. And even putting Bo Dallas in there and giving him a shot would be nice.
I wouldn't go that far, but, you know.
Yeah, but it's something different.
Yeah, it's something different.
Give him a shot.
Yeah, I understand. So we don't know who Rusev's replacement's going to be. R-Truth's going to be in it. We're also going to have Sheamus. We're going to have dumb as fuck Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and King Barrett. So the match, I'm honestly not looking forward to it, just looking at these names, honestly.
There's a lot of good names in there, but I wanted to see Rusev in this match, and Ryback had to fuck it up.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Rusev in this match. Actually, I'm starting to like Rusev more and more.
That's who I was going to pick to win, honestly. Before when I was thinking about this all week,
okay,
and he got hurt, but I was going to say they're going to give it to Rusev. But now, if I had to choose. Man, that's a tough one.
I don't want to go to the person I think it's going to go to.
I think me and you are on the same page with that one. I want Dolph Ziggler to win it. I think Sheamus will win it. Yep,
I think Sheamus is going to win it. I obviously would want Dolph winning it. I also wouldn't be upset if Barrett won it. And this is going to be sounding a little weird. But I also, if there was a third person I wouldn't mind, is I don't necessarily mind if Ryback wins it.
Yeah, I don't think he's even ever held a title.
It's when Ryback first came on the scene, I was high on him. I really was. I think he has the look, the intensity. He has a decent moveset. He's
gotten a little better on the mic.
He's gotten a little better on the mic. I mean, it's so funny to hear him say, the big guy. Like, just the way he says it just makes me laugh every time. But he sucks is the problem, and I know he sucks. But it's like, for some reason, I have false hope that at some point he's going to get over what's going on, and that something's going to click in his head, and he's going to get better. So,
you know who oh my goodness, you know who I just thought of might be the replacement? Big Show.
Oh no, my stomach just drop.
I could see it now.
Oh, I can too. Damn it, why'd you say it? Because you said it, that thought just went in Vince's head.
Yeah, because Vince listens to this
I know.
shit podcast.
Wouldn't it be great if he did?
Yeah, if he did, I would have been signed already as a writer.
All right, so next match we have the world title match. Seth versus Dean. The Shield.
There's other matches before that.
Oh, this is showing third, so okay. So you don't want me to go into it? Fine. We'll go.
No, you should save that for last.
Yeah, actually, okay.
Because everyone will turn off the podcast.
Yeah, I went to the far left. I should have gone to the far right. All right, so Neville versus Bo Dallas. We talked about this earlier.
Which I think is actually going to be a really good match.
Yes, I do too. They've had good matches in NXT. I don't see why they wouldn't have a good match here.
I hope it's not one of those short little 5-6 minute matches. I hope they give them at least 8 to 10 minutes.
I'd say if you said over under 8, I'd go under. I really would. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think so too. But I was hoping for give them at least 8 to 10.
I would go 6 to 8. I would say I'm going to say 7.5 minutes is what they're going to give them, right around there. I think they'll. The thing is, Bo isn't. I don't know. This is my personal opinion, obviously, because I think we differ. I think you like Bo a lot more than I do. I think Bo is boring, and I thought Bo is boring for the last 5 or 6 years. So I don't have much much trust in him putting on a good 15-minute match or something. Neville though has shown to be great, and he's shown to show his skill at the main level even, and getting over with the fans. So I think it'll be a decent match, and if it opens the card, I think it'll get the crowd excited.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Neville will win it too.
I do too. All right, so Divas Championship. Oh man, we got a triple threat. We don't see that often. You know what? This match probably won't be that bad. Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi. Paige is the queen in the WWE. There's Paige and there's everyone else. Naomi is I'm digging her. I really am. I think she's improved incredibly amount. Nikki is Nikki. That's all I'm gonna say.
But Nikki has improved a lot since what we really remember.
Yeah, give me the other one.
Yeah, well, I think they both actually have gone pretty good. But
well, the others improved to me a lot more than Nikki has. Brie has.
Yeah. Nikki's held the title since like WrestleMania, so I think or probably even before that. I think it's time for her to probably let that one go.
Has she done anything for that title?
No, probably not.
No, she has not.
So I'm going to actually say Naomi is going to win with probably some help from your girl Tamina.
Oh gosh, if Naomi wins it, I'll be jacked. Actually, I'll be excited. I'm going to go with Paige, just because she's Paige. I'm going to let.
Well, I'm a big Paige fan, but
yeah.
I really think Naomi is going to win it since they've been pretty much pushing her.
I agree, and I think she deserves the shot. So I'm hoping.
And I could see Tamina helping her out winning.
I could too, especially with what's been going on the last couple of weeks. So I could definitely see that. If she wins, I'll be excited. If Paige wins, I'll be excited too. If Nikki wins, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So let's see. Next on the card is the main event, in my mind. It's not really the main event, but it is in my mind. Cena versus Owens. So this is the first time, really, the NXT champion is getting airtime and getting one-overs on... I mean, even though he's not holding the world title, he is one of the main guys on the show. In past weeks, so I'm really excited to see just how this match is going to go. Crowd reaction is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of pro Owens.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pro Owens. There could be the people that, because what they're kind of doing is they're kind of turning WWE versus NXT in a way. They're kind of making NXT its own brand to match up with WWE in a way. So it'll be interesting to see if just WWE people that don't care for Cena but don't like Owens because obviously he's a heel, and that he's from NXT and he is their flagship person because he's holding the belt. They could just be anti-Owens just because of that. But if any of those people actually see the video of Kevin Owens' kid getting excited to see that his dad's fighting Cena, they're gonna forget all about that. But yeah, this match is gonna be. It should be really good. John Cena, when he wrestles boring people that do the same thing over and over again, that's when you get the boring John Cena. I don't think he can match. I think what he does is he kind of matches people's skill set and intensity. I think fighting someone like Owens, you're going to see another really good Cena match versus Owens. It should be to me. This is the match I most want to see of all the matches.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want to see. I mean, obviously, Owens has wrestling experience. He's said it multiple times. He has more wrestling experience than John does.
Yep. I love that too when he cut him off and it was like, don't you ever say you can give me veteran experience. I've been doing this longer than you have.
Yeah, that was cool.
Loved it.
I think this is going to be match of the night. And that's saying a lot because Dean and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will end up being a match of the night. I think Owens is going to make this is his biggest opportunity against the WWE's poster child.
And the thing is, Owens doesn't even have to win to get over during this match.
No.
He just has to go out there and be him.
Yeah.
And that's all he has to do, and he's going to get over. Like as long as he doesn't lay a stinker, he's good. He already got over, and he already won the match without winning the title. So and I don't think he is going to win. I don't think he's going to beat Cena. I don't think he's going to win the title.
Well, I don't think any of the titles are on the line.
Oh yeah, I think it says champion versus champion.
Yeah, I think it's just champion versus champion. There's not an actual
in a
title
non-title match. You're right. Okay. So yeah. It's not even for. So that's perfect. So maybe he will win. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think should happen?
I honestly think Owen should win.
Okay.
Just so they. I mean, if I just remembered something, but I'll get back to that in a minute. Owens is he has a lot more to gain by beating Cena, but if Cena loses, Cena doesn't really lose much.
Yeah.
It's because he's been built up as a superhero. But my quick thought, I heard Bray Wyatt might be the guy that replaces Rusev.
Oh, didn't think about that. Ooh.
I remember reading that.
That would save him.
It would, but it's not gonna help. I don't. No? He'd probably be the first. He'd probably get pinned by R-Truth.
Oh my gosh! No, if there's any way to save him, that's the way to save him. Well, okay, I shouldn't say save him. Start the saving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I hope that happens, and I hope he wins it. I still don't think he would, because I think they'd do something stupid. But I think him winning it would definitely put him in a better light, and he would be able to repair himself. Maybe you bring in the in Chamber 2, you bring in the family, the Wyatt family guys.
Oh,
they could do something. Yeah. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. That could be good. That could be really good, actually. All right. So going back to the main event that I was going to talk about second. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. They've been hyping it well. I really like that it's the Shield. And it's really, it's funny because watching what they do with the Shield now, I think back to, like a long time ago when we were doing the podcast, and we would talk about how it's so important to establish Dean out of all these three, because Seth is obviously the future, and Roman had the size and build, didn't have the charisma, but he had the look that Vince wanted. So Dean was the one that at least I was thinking was the forgotten one, and I think they have done an absolutely incredible job with Dean. Or they've given Dean the option to they've given him the opportunity, I think.
I think he lost a lot of steam. He was going after Rollins there for a while, and then Bray Wyatt all of a sudden just shows up and starts attacking him.
Yeah.
And after the Bray Wyatt stuff, he started a feud with Wade Barrett, and I forget what else after that. I thought he lost his steam, and I thought, okay, well this is where Dean's career takes the downward spiral.
Mm-hmm. He was getting a little forgotten.
But yeah, he was getting forgotten, and now then all of a sudden he got put in the title match, and now he's right back up there again.
Yeah.
So who did he blow?
Well, so it's time to have a talk.
Yeah. Would they let Dean win this?
No. Not right now. Not right now. Gosh, it's I look at...
It's the same... It's like I told you about with Brock. It's the same shit over and over. Mercury and Noble get involved. Kane gets involved. Yeah. Triple H gets involved. It's the same thing every month. I want something different. Rollins is too good of a wrestler to just, have all these interferences and stuff for him. Let him actually wrestle. Let him be the badass heel that can wrestle.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know if they're babying him or if they just naturally thought, you're an ass. You'd be a great heel, and they're just going because this is heel wrestling. It's what they're doing. It's the heel angle.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it, but like you said, Seth is amazing. Seth does not need this. He's not JBL, or JBL needed the people to come down I don't even know what he called those people. I forget.
The cabinet.
The cabinet. Okay. So he needed them to kind of get over in that kind of capacity. Seth doesn't need that at all. He doesn't need them. So I think it's going to be a kind of thing where they're going to be doing this heel thing for a bit, and then he's the one that's going to turn on them and leave them, and the people are going to be able to see him shine as a face and as someone that's able to go back and having incredible matches, because he really was the highlight mostly of the Shield's matches. Like, you look to see what Seth's going to do because he brought the excitement. You saw Dean bring the crazy. You see Roman be the closer. But the meat and potatoes of the Shield was Seth.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I don't know. I look at Dean and I see people like British Bulldog and
yeah, he kind of like, I don't want to say William Regal, but he has like that different style. How like William Regal had a different style.
Yeah, he has a different style. And I just think he's the kind of guy that, gosh, he has so much intensity, and I love it, and so much passion. But I just don't know. And I mean, the crowd's loving him. That we both know that means jack shit to them.
Yeah, I mean the Roddy Piper comparisons always come up, and that's a great.
That's actually a perfect comparison right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Seth. I mean, I wait for the day where Dean actually takes it, but today's not that day. It's going to be Seth.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be different. I'm gonna go with Dean.
Okay. All right, and that'll be it'll be a good match. They put on great matches, and again, I love seeing Shield in the main events. Just like last month, I loved the whole Shield being in the match. And now this month we have 2/3 of the Shield. So it really shows how great of talent those three guys were, and how they groomed them coming up to the WWE to then be the focal point of their shows. So
yeah.
But that's gonna wrap it up for this week, guys. Thought it was a great show. A lot of good topics. Hopefully, we're probably not gonna have as many good topics as next week, just because Destination America kind of blew our minds. But yeah, follow us on at the Rope Break on Twitter. Keep checking us out on our YouTube, the Rope Break. On our Twitter, we actually have posted about the Podomatic that you can go to check us out, and we are going to keep plugging away and keep trying to get on iTunes. And we should actually, we're in the works of getting stuff done with getting a guest or two on the show. So watch out for that, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you guys later.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This maniac is gonna step on who